Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Can anyone tell me why people get married? And if you speak for yourself, if you can tell me how long have you been married?
4 months.
Okay. So why do you get married?
Because we love each other.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is my reason as well. When me and my husband get married, it's because we love each other. But from my experience, that answer evolves. And now, like, my answer to that is to have a family. Particularly, of course, having children. I am a mother of 3. I have a 12-year-old boy, 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old girl. Nathan is the oldest. How I can describe him is that he resembles his dad, both in looks and personality. He's a bit shy and reserved. Elijah, on the other hand, is like a mini me. It's a version of me. It's not very often that we see or we come across boys that looks like their mom. And he got my personality as well, being very friendly, outgoing, very sociable. Alisa is like a blended version of me and my husband. So in some situations, she will express herself like me. And then it's similar to his dad. In some situations, she'll be like, reserved, shy, and she's a very, like a hybrid version of her parents. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is like the parenting style that I have, and being an immigrant coming from the Philippines. I valued the upbringing that my parents had used to me and my other siblings. And it's like a challenge for me to have that and adapt that way of bringing up children. And one of the things that I value most is the culture and the values that we have in the Philippines. To give you an example is the respect to the elders. In the Philippines, we have this gesture. In the presence of the elders, we take their hand, either left or right, and we place it gently to our forehead. And after that, they will say, "God bless you." So just those simple things that is like unique to us. And just to give you an example, when I took my children to the Philippines for a month vacation, and all my relatives, aunts, uncles, and friends, and they saw that, and they gave me a lot of compliments, like, "Wow, you still have that in your family." It's a very, very old culture that we have, and we have that. And coming from like I gave birth to my children here in North America, but still they have that. So that is one of the things that I like about like bringing up my children in the way that I was brought up. Another thing is the language that I speak in the Philippines. It's Filipino. A lot of like the friends that we have are also Filipino doesn't speak to their children in the Filipino language. It's always English. There are some hesitations because, oh, they're gonna be laughed at school because, they don't have the accent of, being a Canadian. But I don't think of that like, I don't like that kind of thinking. For me, learning how to speak your mother tongue is like you're keeping the Filipino culture in you. With Nathan, because he's the first one, when he was growing up, he's always at home, of course. course, and I was a full-time mom when I had him. So we always speak Filipino, and that was the first language that he learned. When he started to go to school, in 2 weeks, he was very fluent in English, both in like speaking and understanding. And it doesn't stop him from like talking in Filipino language. And I told him that in school, outside with your friends, yes, you can speak English because that's what they speak. But here at home, you'll speak with mom and dad and grandma Filipino. It was a different experience with Elijah and Alyssa because it's very easy for them to talk in English by themselves. But they understand it. Although like here and there they can say some words, Alyssa and Elijah, but then, you know, it's always English whenever they answered us. Another thing that I value the most in raising my children is exposing them at an early age to do chores. For me, learning how to do chores is like learning how to be responsible. At an early age, they will be responsible for everything. I started with their, like making their beds, cleaning up their toys, and stuff like that. And it also teach them how to be a member of the household. Like they have their contribution in everything that's happening at home. I always tell them that at an early age, I was 7 years old, that I was assigned to do the plates. And that's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the third most important thing that I value the most when raising my children is like engaging them to all the activities that we have. Nowadays, we have all these devices, video games, and you can see like children in the restaurant that they are all like doing this. And the parents are just like that. But like in my days when I was growing up, we're always like talking because we don't have that. So in my household, it's like weekends, okay, they can have the devices, but and just like the downtime, but on weekends, if we ever go out, no devices. And also like the weekdays, because they're not allowed to have that, except for the iPad with the research and the schoolwork. So when I say that, you know, engaging into activities, because me and my husband are very outdoor person. We love to go hiking, biking, and just out. So we'll encourage our kids to come with us, go biking to the trail, and go swimming, and they love that. On the other hand, me and my husband will try to like engage to them whenever they, for example, to give you an example, my boys love Legos, and so they got that from Christmas. And I was very excited that they got Legos from other people. And I was the first one to like to get the instructions and just play with it. And they are like, Mom, these are our gifts. Just stay there. But it's like that because we're used to like sharing each other's interests. And I love that because it's just the connection. We know that there are some families that are not very close to each other. And I know that because my husband's side, they are not that close. It's like the old ways of like, okay, here's the parents, the children, just listen to us, follow us. But I don't want that to happen to my family. I want it to engage, to be very, like to flow naturally, like, you know, this is a family, we always come together. To sum up my presentation, how I'll put it, it's like having a family is very rewarding particularly having children. And I'll say that it's the best experience that I have in my life, beginning with childbirth, and I'm not going to details on that. And just seeing them grow up and be a functional member of the society.
Good.